This is my reply to Eleanor Mary Clark's email 2019. Thank you, Eleanor, for your cryptic greetings. And I'd like to address it, tongue-in-cheek, to Eleanor the Preacher. Homosexuality is sin and contrary to all moral righteousness. You can argue all you like. Arguments will not change this. Consensuality does not make homosexuality right or acceptable, it is immoral. Prostitution is not right. Consensuality does not make it right, it's wrong. Fornication, that's sex outside of marriage, is not right. Consensuality does not make it right either, it is wrong. Take the example of two robbers taking the money from a dead man's wallet. Does that make their joint consensual theft correct? To cite an extreme case, if the parents of a newborn baby from an unwanted pregnancy decided to kill the newborn at birth, as they cannot face or want the responsibility of bringing up the child, is it right because they both consent? Their consensuality of disposing their murdered baby by killing it and disposing of the body does not make it morally right. It is wrong. I'm not seeking to win any arguments with you or anyone. I'm stating the truth to you all. Consensuality among people does not make immoral acts right or justify them. That was the rule of the SS Nazi Party. Black can never be white, however much you try and argue. I'm not seeking family support, but rather I'm giving my support to all the family that appears to be going off the rails. I'm informing you all that homosexuality is wrong, fornication is wrong, and we should teach these morals to our children. I'm the one being hurt in this matter. I'm not making up my own rules or values, just informing you all of those things you should all know but reject, and beliefs and values your mum once knew and upheld. You can be frustrated all you like, but you're wrong and insolent, just like Esther, and your behaviour disrespectful and arrogant. You just don't get it, do you? My turn to respond. Not at all. And you won't get it unless you listen and understand the views I'm expressing and on the listening closed. David, your brother, is the one causing this trouble. Had David not asked me my opinion as to how I felt about paedophilia and homosexuality, nothing would have been said. I told him what I believed after he had asked me my opinion and what I felt from my knowledge. I had suffered David's behaviour, knowledge of him coming out as a homosexual, since he told me about his condition as a teenager at 13 or 14 years old, but I never got on to him about his state. I've always been available for him, never rejected him or his friends, and always been there for him and will be. He has always known my views. So when he asked me, do I think homosexuality and paedophilia as bad as each other, I tell him straight. They are both sinful and both condemned by God, and I don't approve it either. Now, as for Facebook, it was David who started it all off by putting his views with a picture on my Facebook wall, asking me on Facebook, after pasting that image of a gay person being wheeled in a wheelbarrow to be killed because of his or her homosexuality, asking me, did I view homosexuality in the same light as paedophilia? David is the one that you should be complaining to, not me. David has been very wrong in his behaviour towards you all in the past, and I have been the one to try and help patch things up. David is not a child anymore. David's behaviour is that of a morally depraved man. Like all of us, unless we be converted, he reacted to me, in my views, openly, just before Christmas by cutting off contact with me. He came to us last Christmas and made the Christmas meal, but not this year. I did not turn away from him. It was his reaction to me expressing what I believed and how I felt and my views. He has the problem, not me. He caused it, not me. Had he not asked me about my views and understandings, we would behave towards each other as we had done for the past 20 years. I have no problem with him being against me. Not that I want that. And this situation has not changed now. I love him as I love you all. And whilst I'm at it, Esther is as bad as you. You're both out of order too. David is doing to me what he did both to you, Esther, and Mum. He is performing as a moral delinquent. You may view paedophilia, fornication, adultery, homosexuality in different lights and levels of morality. I don't. I know them to be sinful and morally wrong. That's what I'm saying and making my views known. I object to PSHE program in schools being introduced into schools and have made my views known and why. It introduces some of those immoral practices to children without informing children of the moral rights and wrongs of these practices. It disappoints me that none of you seem to be concerned. You seem only to be concerned about how it affects you and how you are hurt. Remember, both you and Esther have babies who will be attending school before you know it. You need to be aware of what is going on. This matter has a knock-on effect. Rebecca now has 2 brothers who are openly homosexual, and her mum just does not know how to deal with it. I respond to a situation as I find it. I do and have done what I feel is best and right. I'm not acting to please people, but doing what must be done. From your response, it seems to me you have not listened to what I have said, or not understood. Otherwise, you would realise why I mentioned Michael, David, James, Gold and Joanne. It seems to me that you do not care, nor are concerned as to why things are as they are and the problems that lie between them all. My views are those of a real person. I am your father, older than you. I'm acting like a father, whether you resent, respect me or not. My views are true, valid and sincere. I think we can leave preaching to others and those who can teach the word of God. It is my opinion that women do not make good preachers. Well, as for pregnancy, it's now you should start thinking about God for all things and learn for yourself the way, so that I don't have to keep on reminding you. Congratulations, all good gifts come from God.